one, which is the second after Vaishnavism. Shaivism is the second one most followed by people, right? And here, of course, it is a sect in which people worship Shiv, right? Can be any form of Shiv now. Can be Shiv in terms of, in the form of Nataraj, in the form as the Shiv, the yogi one, or Shivling, right? So Shaivism is mainly associated with asceticism. We know Shiv is one of his quality. Most of the time when we see him, he is in meditation, right? So this is one of his qualities, being a yogi. So this sect, les propage, les teach asceticism, right? And of course, they revere Shiv in many forms like Rudra, Nataraj, Ling, and others. Donc, the followers of Shiv, they believe, they consider that Shiv is the supreme deity. Like in Vaishnavism, they believed that Vishnu is the supreme deity, right? Now, in the Veda, in the 4 Vedas, there is mention of Lord Shiv. Okay, in the Ring Veda, there is mention of Lord Shiv in many verses, but here Shiv is not the Shiv having the blue throat in the Vedas. Shiv, what is the meaning of Shiv? Shiv means the non-existent, one who does not exist, right? Which is the Lord Shiv, the meaning of the word Shiv. So the Shiv we have in the Rig Veda actually is this one, not the Shiv, the God one, right? The roots of Shaivism has been anchored, has been found since in prehistoric India. Remember the Harappa and the Mohenjo-daro time as well. There were the worship of Shiv. But he was known as Rudra. The Vedas, we see a mention of the word Rudra. He was worshipped in the form of Rudra, not in the as bearing the name of Shiv, right? The eldest story of Shiv that we come to know is about the Daksha, the father of Sati, where he did the fire sacrifice without inviting Shiv. And when Sati went there, Sati felt insulted and Sati gave up her life there. This is one of the oldest stories that we learn about Shiv. Many rulers of India, they were Shaivites or Shaiv, right? Those who follow Shaivism. And again, for Shiv, there have been temples built for him, specifically for him. There is the mention of Shiv in the 4 Vedas, especially in the Shvetastvara Upanishad, right? The Shaiv actually read a lot of this Upanishad, Shvetastvara Upanishad, and they follow that also. And we have the Shiv Puran, and we have later scriptures, which are the Agamas. The Agamas, they are Smriti, they are not Shruti. They were not given by God directly like Vedas. So they are not Shruti, they are Smriti. Agamas say, to one saint, poets, whatever they have written, can be in terms of poetry, can be in terms of commentaries. So whatever reliable commentaries or teachings we have, all these we call the Agamas, right? So the main teachings we can gather about Shiv is the Shiv Puran, the Agamas, the Shvetastvara Upanishad, and the Tirumurai. Tirumurais say the compilation of the poems of the Alvars. Other compilation also of the Alvars, some of the Alvars, not all of them, and other South Indian poems, as the word itself relate, a bit Tamil, Tirumurai. So the South Indian poets, saints poets. The main traditions of Shaivism, aussi, il y en a beaucoup sectes. Il y en a beaucoup subdivision, you can say, like Vaishnavism has plutôt. So Shaivism also has sect also. But what are the main tradition here, we'll see, of Shaivism? It's called the, premièrement, Pashupati, ou bien we call that the Pashupat. The Pashupat is one of the oldest Shaiv group. And they were monks. They were ascetic monks. Ascetic is a person who does not possess anything, who does meditation, right? Who is a yogi, you can say, in other words. So those people, they were wanderers. They were wandering across in the country. Typically the sannyasis, right? And they were carrying the trident, the trishul. Their face, from their face, there is the burning, that yearning, yearning to reach God, which is the devotion. They had devotion. And they were wearing deer leather, deer sulapo. That is, of course, previously they were wearing that, but later we had clothes, right? So this philosophy of Pashupat was systematized by Lakulish, also called Nakulisha. Some detail, the names and all that are not important. So the Pashupat accepted members of any caste. Again, this is one of the great factor in the major theistic traditions, right? Accepting people, members of any caste. But they had some preference for Brahmin caste, right? Because the Brahmin had been through the proper education, so they prefer that. But if anyone from any caste would come to them, they would accept. So they had a tough life, a tough path to go through, having no home, wandering in the country. It's not an easy task, right? And their sadhana was what? Their sadhana, say the way of worshipping, was what? The way of revering God, adoring God. N'importe quelle façon on peut expliquer. C'était ethical code. This was very important. Ethical code, ethics. And also they put emphasis on brahmacharya, control of senses, ahimsa, and tapas, meditation, concentration, right? So the ethics, the brahmacharya, the ahimsa, the tapas, they were following. Kutya menjutsa, to self-purification, which is one of the main first step, in spirituality. We need to purify ourselves, where we remove the ego, and also the elimination of the need to be accepted in society. They don't need society, and they don't need society to accept them. They are in the path of sannyasis, they are on the path to God. This is a path where we don't need anyone apart from God, right? At this stage of practice, it was designed to break the ties with the society and their own self, typically the sannyas one, right? Ganakarika is one of the Agam, Ban commentaries, Ban teachings of the teachers. In the Ganakarika, the Haradatacharya, who was a teacher, he has given 8 principles and 3 functions to follow. You're not expected to know the 8 principles, but put just a bit of attention to it. Acquisition, impurity, expediment, locality, that is the aid to increase knowledge, perseverance, purification, initiation, and powers, right? Si nous get bien, try to compare it also to Vaishnavism, which you already know the teachings, and now here. Here the path is a bit tougher compared to the Vaishnav. Wandering here and there, no? Doing the tapas, le montagne, in à l'eau, se déboute l'eau and les pieds, se faire meditation, all that they do, right? They do that for days, maybe for months, right?
Oui, on arrive là.
So now the different versions of Kashmiri, we continue with that. That is a subdivision of Shaivism. We have the Kashmiri Shaivism. As the name says, it originated in Kashmir, in northern part of India. Right? Kashmir was the spiritual, central, and intellectual center for many practitioners. We have beaucoup still ban temples in Kashmir, Hindu temples, right? So Kashmiri Shaivism arose from the experience of these dedicated Trika Yoga practitioners. Those who are following the yogi system as Shiv followed, they started the Kashmiri, they propagated the Kashmiri Shaivism. And they were inspired by the writings, by the commentaries of many poets, of many philosophers, right? According to the tradition of Kashmir Shaivism, Lord Shiv himself has set forth 64 systems. Lord Shiv lui-même, d'après Banal, Shiv has set 64 systems which we follow to reach Shiv, right? But with time, they were lost. With time, they were lost. Then Shiv commanded sage Durvas to revive the knowledge. Sage Durvas, his mind-born sons, were assigned the duty to teach the knowledge of Shiv, of the 64 system. Okay. So the point here again, it was a system which existed maybe before, even before Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, even before that. Then during the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa time, we still had the worship of Shiv, and then it was lost, and then it was reinitiated, right? Then it is said that Lord Shiv himself felt the need to interpret the agamas, right? Then what happened? Sri Vasugupta was living in Srinagar in Kashmir. He had a dream that somewhere there is a great scripture. When he woke up, he went to find that place, and he found there 67 sutras about the great scripture he dreamt about, which he named the Shiv Sutra. So again, things existed here, but was lost, right? So these people, maybe they were chosen by the Lord. This is what we get from history, right? So the Kashmiri Shaiv, they came to view the world as absolute consciousness. These are persons who won't do any discrimination. Okay, parce que je trouve the Lord, the Shiv, the oneness in all and in everything, right? So again, quand you go through the Shaivism, always try to compare with what you know of the Vaishnavism. Ou capable bien question of comparison as well, right? The different paths. Then we have the Gorakhnath Shaivism, right? The Gorakhnath Shaivism, which was founded by Gorakhnath, also known as the Gorakhnath. Ça veut dire il porte ce nom. He was a disciple of Matsyendranath. If you don't remember these names, no problem. So this sect believed that knowledge of their tradition was given by Matsyendranath from Shiv. So the Shiv même, il donne sa knowledge là to Matsyendranath, right? This is their belief. And then Gorakhnath later on, he created 12 monastic orders across India, northern India, to preserve the Adinath tradition, to preserve that. Now, this sect adapted many practices of the Pashupat sect. And the good thing in it is it had Muslim followers as well, right? So they were embracing everyone, they were accepting everyone. It's not that you need to be a Hindu itself, no, right? And this sect discovered secrets of what they followed. They got the secrets of Hatha Yoga, very advanced level of yoga, Kundalini Yoga, you know, the Kundalini Shakti, which we say is the energy found in the spine, no? And then the Samadhi. Samadhi say meditation where you become one with the Lord. C'est pas when you die, no? You are in meditation, but you are one with the Lord. This is Samadhi, right? And they believe also in supernatural powers as well. Some of the just when I need to remember it, it goes away. Some of the Aghoris, they are like that. The Aghoris, they perform Kundalini Yoga, they perform Samadhi, they also have supernatural powers, right? So these followers of the Gorakhnath, they could increase their lifespan. It's not lie, it's life. Their lifespan, they could increase that and become immortal. So yogic powers, these are the supernatural powers. They could do that. And they believe that Shiv is the cause of creation. Pareil, and Vaishnav Lili believe Vishnu is the cause of creation. And at the time of dissolution, we will return to Shiv again, right? So this sect is still active in many parts of India, where they perform the Hatha Yoga, the Pranayama, the Kundalini Yoga. You know. Then you have the Veera Shaivism, which they also call the Lingayats. Lingayat. I think it's pronounced Lingayat, if I'm not mistaken. Linga and Ayat, Lingayat. So it is prominent in Karnataka, in the south of India. And these Shaiv, they started this movement to reject the Vedic authority. They rejected the Vedic authority, the caste hierarchy. Vedic authority, mais il pas veut dire qu'il reject Vedas. Hein? You know, avec Vedas, il y a beaucoup de problèmes après aussi, where there was the caste system problem, women problem, Brahman has to do certain work, someone else cannot do that work. There were lots of issues, no? So they rejected the Vedic authority, the caste hierarchy. They rejected the system of 4 stages of life, which is the 4 ashramas, the veneration of multiplicity of gods. Because Shiv is the supreme, no one else. Pareil comme pour Vaishnavism, no? They believe that Vishnu is the one, major one, and others, they are the demigods. No? Ici aussi pareil. And here the Veera Shaivism They pray Shiv in the form of linga. That's why they have this name, Lingayat. I need to check how is it pronounced. Okay, they are the bearers of the linga. So these people, they condemn the worship of Shiv in any other form apart the linga. Je priais seulement linga. Now, praying the linga, which represents Shiv, is in itself nirgun worship. Remember Sagun and Nirgun? Sagun say having a form, Nirgun pena form, formless. So worshipping of linga is in itself nirgun worship. Parce que when you see the linga, you don't see Shiv exactly, you know, the human body Shiv qui ne trouvé dans photo là, having the Ganga, having the Jata, no, we don't see that. So it has no form. But now the linga is in the form of an egg. In the form of an egg. An egg, you can't say the beginning and the end of the egg. No, you can't say that. So is the Shivlinga, right? So it is a form of Nirgun worship, right? And they don't accept worship of any other form of Shiv, right? And they, of course, believe in the system of the Guru Shishya. That is, we need to have a Guru, right? And they have 8 aids to spiritual life. You need not remember the 8 of them. Briefly, what is important for them. Some of them you can write. A Guru, which is important. Linga, worship of the Linga. Reverence for the Veerashaiva teachers. Ça veut dire service and reverence to the Guru. Sizudgit dans Vaishnavism, they also believe in the same practice, but that of Vishnu, bien sûr. They believe in the practice, we need to have a Guru, we need to worship Vishnu. Here they worship Linga. They revere their Gurus, and here they revere, in the Shaiv tradition, they revere the Shaiv Gurus. Okay? So similarities also are there. Pas seulement ça, mais différence qui ne peut causer. One is worship of Shiv and the other Vishnu. One is easier, one is tough. No, there are similarities also you need to consider. Right? And of course, the Rudraksh, they use that, the use of holy ash, because Shiv himself has done that. And you will see Lili aussi relate anticipate to ban Aghoris, right? The holy water, they believe in that. They believe in the tirtha, the pilgrimage, right? In the letter Om Namah Shivaya, right? In the word, in the mantra, Pluto, right? Now, the philosophy of the Veer Shaivism, it has given us a path of devotion, a 6-stage path of devotion, which is Bhakta Vatsal, pas nécessairement prendre again, but details not important, but understand their path is also devotion. Selfless devotion, seeking Shiv's grace. Vaishnav Lilipe seek the grace of Vishnu. Experience of all as Shiv, oneness. Vaishnav also do that. They see God in all. Egoless refuge in Shiv, surrender. The Vaishnav also surrender by doing service to the Lord, oneness with Shiv, right? So devotion is again one key aspect here. And it is believed that, of course, every phase in devotion, devotion goes in phases. Par exemple, la vie, allez, devotion aussi, il y a dans phases. And each phase brings us nearer to the Lord, nearer to Shiv, right? Now we have the Shaiva Siddhant, which originated from the 28 Shaiva Agamas. Remember Agamas, the devotional work of saints, right? And this was done by Nandinath, right? Nandinath, he left a compilation of 26 Sanskrit verses. Okay. Donc their writings have great value for these chefs in their life, in their practice, right? Which they still use. For them, Shiva is the supreme being and the Lord of creation. He is the one who is responsible for bringing Maya here and keeping us in the illusion, right? And they believe that true liberation can be attained by Charya, Kriya, Yoga, and Gyan. What is Charya? Charya means serving the Lord in the temple. Par exemple, aller au faire cleaning, cooking, arrose ban plante. Ça, c'est Charya. Then you have the Kriya. Kriya c'est devotional task, singing songs, worshipping the idol, narrating stories. The path of yoga, which is the yoga exercises, one exercise, meditation, and contemplation. And we have the path of knowledge, which is Gyan, which leads us closer to the Lord. Okay, so this is their belief, their practice. What they practice, the Vaishnav, the different subdivisions in the Vaishnav, the lineage, the Sampradaya, they also do the same thing. Knowledge, devotion, karma in the terms of cleaning, feeding, right? So this is the path to God. There is no new path which lead us there. Salmon Metli, juste en passant, maybe you will like to read it. Say the temples of Shiv. One temple, maybe you can mention in your work, c'est qui se te rappelle. Frankly speaking, I don't remember all of them. Pour moi, my favorite is always Kedarnath, and especially because of the movie. So this is what I remember most of the time. Okay, it's up to you. You can mention one. Now, in Shaivism, we usually use these words, these concepts. For example, Pati. Pati means husband. Pati of it means Lord. From Lord, it came to husband, right? It means Lord. So the Shaiv believe that Shiv is the Pati. Shiv is the Lord. Akosali aussi appelle Pashupati, right? So he does the 5 important functions, which is creator, destroyer, concealer, revealer, and preserver, right? The Vaishnav tradition aussi Banapu consider the same thing. Shiva is the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. Pashu means animals. It includes every animal, even every life form, including human beings here, right? They are the jivas of 3 kinds. We have, especially the humans, ego, delusion, attachment, right? This is what makes us Pashu. Pashu with the animal. So no ego, no delusion, no attachment makes us Pashu, right? Pasha. Pasha means refers to attachment. Okay, attachment. Attachment are formed by inner desire and repeated contact with objects. Objects can be like objet même, like non-living thing. It can be living thing as well. So since we have repeated contact, qui fait au content du monde qui reste que tout là, parce que tous les autres, on reste avec lui. This is repeated contact with object, right? So, Pash. So when we worship Shiv, Shiv is going to help us destroy all this attachment. Then we have also Prakriti. So far, Nupanko is Shakti Lano. Donc, they worship Shiv, but also some of them, not all of them, but also Shakti, which is, the Durga or the Parvati. And Shakti is also considered to be the cause of creation. Now, in the Shiv Puran, there's a interesting story where there was Sanat Kumar. He was traveling and he saw sage Parashar doing meditation. So Sanat Kumar stopped and asked him, why are you doing meditation? You are such in a lonely place. So he said that he is seeking for moksha. Then Sanat Kumar gave him the knowledge, which he received from Nandikeshwar, right? And suggested him to practice, ki knowledge to practice Manan, Shravan, Kirtanam. Ben Vaishnav aussi se fait pareil. Manan, Shravan, and Kirtan. Qui veut dire Manan? Manan, c'est uttering the words, mantras of God, prayers of God. It can be through words, through the mouth. It can be dans la tête. Nous pouvons voyager. Nous pouvons chant something for, no? Qui nous fait dans our mind, we are chanting the name. This is Manana. Then you have Shravana. Shravana, listening. You go to the temple, you listen to the Pandit, no? Listening. And you have the Kirtanam, singing the glory of the Lord. So you see the paths are very similar. So according to Shiv Puran, the Kali Yuga, the worship of Shiv is the best one to reach liberation. Worship of Shiv in both Sagun and Nirgun, whichever form, whichever aspect, it is it. Now, the basic law of nature behind this is that everything comes from nothing and goes back to nothing. I love this sentence. Everything comes from nothing. You remember the Chandogya Upanishad. There was Udalaka Aruni, a father and a sage. Lydia ce garçon Svet Ketu to bring, I give you one example, to bring the banyan fruit, and fruit. Lydia lui break open the fruit. Et lui demande qu'il ait trouvé dans fruit là. Svet Ketu dit, I've seen a seed. Udalaka Aruni tells him to break the seed. What does he see inside? Few more seeds. Quand vous prenez un seed là-dedans, on pourrait break the seed. Et quand il demande, what do you see? He sees nothing. Svet Ketu dit, he sees nothing. Dans n'importe qui seed pour ouvrir, there is nothing. So everything comes from that nothing. Do we see the Lord? No. But the Lord is here? Yes. Pareil, un autre exemple, ici prend. Je can servi some an example là dans devoir when you're talking about Atman, Brahman, like here we're talking about this. L'idéal, in a glass of water overnight, you put some salt in it. Lendemain matin, quand y allez, bring the water and drink the water from different surfaces of the glass. Et lui demande the question, how is the water from a particular surface? It is salty. From another surface of the glass, it is salty. Do we see the salt in the water quand il reste overnight? No, we don't see, but the salt is there. It's a matter of taste. It's a matter of experiencing it. So everything comes from nothing. The Lord is nothing. The God, Brahman, Purush, whatever name, is the nothing. We all come from that and we go back there. We go back to him. This is what Shiv is meant, which is not, which does not exist, the nothing, right? So this is the Shaivism result.